following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? I have the best of the best in the building with me, Miss Chericia Curtis, writer, director, producer of Soul Purpose. I am so glad, lady, you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
We first have to shout out to your sorority.
Oh, the pink and green, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Yes, yes. Thank you for that. Yes.
You have worked in field of technology for a while, lady.
Yes.
And then the arts.
Yes.
Let's get started and talk about how did that start?
So the technology piece or the arts, because I've been doing that for a long period of time. And so technology, I have actually been in the industry for about 25 years. And
You started it and you were 5.
Yes, 7, but that's okay. Yes, for about 25 years. I started very, very early in my career after college. It has just been a blessing, wonderful field. I encourage, a lot of women that may not even think about technology to get into that field because it's very, very fruitful and a great field to be in. So I've been doing that for a number of years, over 2 decades now.
Wow, now the arts.
Okay, so let's get to the arts. So I've been doing the arts probably since about 10 years old, off and on, and then stopped because I was a military brat. And so traveled around the world. Yes, I did. Was born in Germany, so they call me German chocolate. And so I always have to get that in. Pretty good. But
like
anyway,
that.
so took a break when we moved back to the United States and then got back into arts as a freshman in high school. And I have not looked back, and I don't regret a day or a minute.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, just looking at that. I love the fact about arts in a sense of young people. You've really dedicated your life kind of to young people.
Yes.
I know you have a nonprofit.
I do.
And you have dedicated your life for young people to get in the arts.
Yes, I encourage it. It's a great outlet. It allows you to be creative. It allows you to use your imagination for your purpose. So my nonprofit is Riri's Playhouse. Yeah. Yes, because some people call me Riri. And it really is a 2-week summer workshop where kids come in and they learn in about all facets of stage, screenplay, as well as stage plays. And they learn everything. They write their own script. We produce it. They learn how to do cameras. They learn how to do set design. They make everything, the wardrobe, all of that. I mean, from A to Z, all aspects of it. And what's so awesome about it is that all those kids have talents, whether it's on the stage or behind the stage, but it's discovered and uncovered. And I think I always felt, I said, you never know with Riri's Playhouse who's going to be the next Denzel Washington, who's going to win the next Oscar, who's going to win the next Tony Awards. So that's really what it's all about, exposing them to the arts.
After reading your story about that, I love the fact where we talk to parents. And I love in the fact of you able to touch children, because many parents say, the children will be acting or something with their dolls or whatever, and then a parent will say, just forget that and leave that alone. What would you say?
You know what? Imagination.
Yes.
Creativity. Don't put limits on your children's dreams. Don't put limits on your, children's imaginations. Just let them be who they want to be. And oftentimes some of the greatest stories come from, kids with big imaginations.
We all did it.
We all do that, that playtime where we're somebody else. Right. And sometimes it's an escape. Sometimes it's a dream, and sometimes it comes to fruition, and you never know what can come from it.
I love that part about it. You also have a faith-based and family-friendly content film and stage.
Yes.
Broken Vessel Productions.
So Broken Vessel Productions, basically, the faith-based audience. There has been situations where a lot of the content I felt was not there. And so through my church back at home, Antioch Christian Fellowship in Corinth, Texas, I have to give a shout out to my amazing pastor,
Yeah.
Christopher Respus.
Yeah.
He wanted to put together an ACT ministry. And so with the ACT ministry, he was just like, Chericia, let's get some more content. I know that there's more than what's just out there on the internet. And so that's really how it all started. So putting on faith-based plays at the church. And of course, because of my background, doing a lot of writing and then just putting it before the community. And then, of course, just continuing to write. So that's how we got the faith-based content.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people have either written books,
Yes.
you know, or they've written some part of stage plays or something like that.
Yeah.
In talking to them, especially the authors, and we all have a book inside.
Everybody.
Everybody has
Everybody
their own
has a story. Everyone
Everybody
has a story.
Right.
Yes. You don't come through this life without a story.
Right.
I mean, when you think about, Jesus, his story and how, major and how magnificent it is and how we're all created for a story.
Right.
Everyone, you do not escape this life without a story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that,
Yes.
because we all have it.
And that goes to, your purpose. And, you were kind of talking about, Broken Vessel Productions. And the thing is that, we're all broken. We're all flawed. We all go through things. And God sees the beauty in our brokenness.
Right.
And he can use it, for his good, for his purpose. And hence, that's why I said that story, no matter how broken it is, it's your story. It could save somebody's life. It's a testimony.
That's
I
it.
mean, when you think about that, it can encourage somebody, but use it because
Absolutely.
he gave it to you for a reason. We're here for a reason.
I'm glad you said that. We as a people are so, we like to push it under the rug.
Yes.
We like not to tell our story.
Absolutely.
Whatever it
Yes.
is.
Yes. Yeah.
But that testimony and that transparency,
It can change the world.
it changes the world.
It changes the world and it touches people. And
And someone needs that
yes.
at that time.
Yes. And you know what? I think, Brother Cam, what ends up happening is that you don't want to tell your story because of fear of being judged.
That's it. That's
what
it.
people are going to say.
Yes.
And then, of course, that story sometimes you can take to your grave, but you don't even know how that story, if you had shared it, what life it could have saved, the impact that it could have made. And that God did not give you the story, to hold inside.
Right.
He gave you the story to share with others.
Right. And that's why we're continue to live. We're not through with our assignment.
That purpose
Yes.
is ongoing. It is ongoing. And that story is ever evolving.
Absolutely.
And that's the beauty of it. Absolutely. So when your child comes to you with a story, let them share that story because that story can be used to impact somebody else in the future.
And sometimes children tell the story because they're trying to tell pain.
Absolutely. Yes. And some of the greatest stories ever told, come from pain. When you think about Jesus and the pain that he went through, the greatest story ever told. And sometimes just that pain, when people can feel that authenticity and that genuine, it can actually get them going. It can actually say, I can survive. I can go through anything and everything. And my story means something.
Absolutely. Now, you've written over 10 plus or more scripts for film and the stage. And the stage, where does that come from?
Well, you know what? I mean, I'd like to take credit for myself, but I'm not going to do that because I can't. I'd be remiss if I did not give all glory to God.
Yeah. And
just allowing him to pour those stories into me. And it was so funny because we talk about the soul purpose. And I think when I was really focused on SOLE purpose, my story, I just never could put it together. But when I began to focus on SOUL purpose, it just started pouring, and God just started pouring into me because it was no longer about me. It was about him and him getting the glory.
Sounds good. Let's talk about soul purpose and what it's about.
Yes.
Where did it come from?
Okay.
Where was it derived? What did you think of it?
So you know what? So it originally started off as something a little different, and then I wanted to change it to be more relevant and more current. And so I collaborated with a young, a tenured writer, T.K. Henderson, who's amazing. And then we came up together, and of course we had talked about this play that I was working on, and she came in and she's like, okay, Chericia, let's just continue to do this. And of course, through, the collaboration, the soul purpose, it breathed life into it. And so I always want to write a play about women. Okay, gotta give a shout out to the women. Gotta give a shout out to the women, right? Because so oftentimes we don't live out our purpose because we are living through others, our purpose through other people. Yes. And that's how it really came about. And we came up with these the 5 characters and all these women. And I think you've seen it.
Yes,
you
have.
Okay.
I have seen it.
I love you.
I love it.
I love you. And so these 5 women, they come these unforeseen circumstances. And then, of course, they form this bond that is unbreakable. And they go through this journey. And although it's separate, they all come together to fulfill this journey and realize that they, too, have a purpose. Wow. And they all do it together. And I have to give a shout out to the amazing soundtrack written by, see, this is what I have to go back to. When you know God, you know how I am. So okay, I'm just gonna keep it real, right? So anyway, so a friend of mine at our church, Chericia Skinner, who's a very close friend of mine, also an AKA, just had to throw that in there. But just had to do that. So she has been writing for years and years and years. And so she came to the church, and whenever we would put plays together, I'm like, Celeria, just write the song. And she'd just come up with it in 5 or 10 minutes, right? It's just crazy how God has blessed her. And then, of course, so I never will forget, I'm like, so I'm writing this play called Soul Purpose, and I want this original soundtrack. And she's just looking at me like, And then all of a sudden, from that, she wrote 9 songs, every original song in Soul Purpose. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And when it all comes together, that's for its purpose, and it is truly meant to be. So that is the backdrop to Soul Purpose, because every soul, has a purpose. You better say that, Brother Cam. Yeah. So that's it.
Every soul
has a purpose. Now, I want to shout now, but I'm not going to do that because I don't think that'll look very professional on television. But yes, that's
every soul has
every soul has a purpose. Every creation that he has breathed life into
has a purpose. Even
when you're going through something. And boy, oh boy, and that's another thing I was talking about. When I was going through things, and I've been through a whole lot, you know what, Brother Cam, that's when I didn't think I had a purpose.
Yeah.
Just lost.
No hope. No hope.
None. I mean, I remember the time that I was so low, and I used to ask God, what is it all here for?
Right.
Why am I here?
Right.
What good is this anyway?
Right. Right.
And then he revealed it. Because if I had done what I wanted to do, I wouldn't be here telling this story. And Soul Purpose never would have been.
I love one thing. I love the whole play, but I truly love the way it's built. Your actual stage is two stories.
Yes,
like a 2-story stage.
A 2-story stage, and we have a great stage manager, Brandy McDowell, who
family a 2-story stage.
A 2-story stage.
On stage.
On stage. Yes. And it was so funny because I remember talking to Brandy McDowell, who's another amazing talent, and of course all the talent in the show is just.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen it before, and so it's a 2-story. And I'm like, Brandy, I want this, and she's like, so how,
exactly.
How do you propose we do that? But then she's like, you know what? I think we can do it.
It was
so
done.
Again,
it was done.
Thank you. But it takes a team to make the dream work.
A 2-story stage.
2-story stage. Absolutely. All the original music. It's just only God. Only God could have orchestrated all of that.
And this is from Texas. You're from Texas.
Tejas. Military brat, but from yes.
From
We've been
Texas.
In here from Texas. Everything organically originated, birthed from the mighty state of Texas. Yes.
And what's so crazy about that, and I was asking you earlier some things because of the fact that most people say, if you're going to make it, you've got to leave. You've got to leave Dallas or Houston or whatever and go to Atlanta, New York.
Yes.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, keep going.
Chicago and all the others, right? But nothing, you can never do it here.
But you know what? But let me tell you something. I can truly say that you can do it here because it's been done.
Right.
And some of the most amazing talent is right here in the state of Texas. A lot of it right here in Houston, Texas. And if you notice, you have a lot of, companies, even now, headquarters moving to Texas. So I only see this thing growing. And kind of like what we were discussing earlier, I just think if it's meant to be, you don't have to be in LA. If that's what God has for you, it doesn't matter where you are.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Wow.
And Houston now is fertile ground for it just to explode and blow up.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Dallas too, both Dallas and Houston. Incredible
Dallas and
locations.
Houston. Absolutely.
Talent galore. I mean, even with the Soul Purpose, some of that talent, I'm like, you know what? Where have you been? I mean, when you think about the CCs and the Darius, and I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. All the incredible, the Deions, and I'm sorry, and I don't want to waste.
Right.
I mean, just because of the time limit. But all this incredible talent, the Michael Princes of the world, some new people like Jamal and and Jarek and just Tyrone. It's just incredible how much talent is here in Texas. And then of course we've got Kathy Taylor, right?
Absolutely.
Here in Houston, that's going to be in the upcoming Soul Purpose. So just tremendous gifts right here.
Absolutely. And looking at that, there's the entertainment business. 10% entertainment,
Yes.
90% business.
Absolutely.
Most people lose out on the business
Yes,
side.
yes,
You know,
yes.
the money side, the
Right.
financial side.
Absolutely.
Of it. And looking at that, as you've gone along the way, and you've been in this for a while,
Woo.
and
Yes, Lord.
understanding what is needed and what's happened.
Yeah.
What advice would you give people?
So you know what? It's work.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes you have to not only work a 9 to 5, which I do sometimes 9 to 6, 9 to 7, but you just have to realize that, after 7 or 8 o'clock, you're just going to have to continue that grind. You're just going to have to keep up the work, and that's just the way it is. Sometimes you have to burn the midnight oil until you're able to pursue your passion,
Right.
full time.
Right.
But I mean, that's what it's going to take. It's resources. It's, reaching out to people in the industry like the Oscar McGars, who have so many incredible connections. And then it's also talking to people because there is money out there. I mean, financing is available, but really it's the networking and the connections. I think that
Absolutely.
makes it all happen like we were talking about
Absolutely.
earlier. It's about the collaboration and coming together.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to have to fund it. I mean,
Absolutely.
you're going to have to find a way to finance it somehow. But through collaboration, expertise, you can make it happen.
And we learned that through Oscar McGar.
That
Oscar McGar.
The one and only Oscar McGar. Can I give him a shout out? I love him.
Just the connector, right?
He is the master connector. I mean, absolutely.
But in looking at that, like you said,
Yeah.
collaboration and unity.
Yes.
We as a people have to start doing that.
Power.
The power.
And you know what? And even in, Soul Purpose, it talks about there is power in numbers.
Yes.
And when we come together, we are unstoppable. There's nothing that we cannot do. And we just have to realize what's for me is for me. You don't start hating. Don't get jealous of somebody else's gift. Sit there and you just,
so much.
There's so much out there.
It's so much.
Yes, and he says that your gifts will make room for you.
Yes.
And there's gifts abound. And when you have all these gifts come together, it's just a beautiful bouquet and it just flourishes.
Right.
And that's the beauty, and that's what we have to learn or do more of.
Absolutely. And what I love about you is that you and your husband, shout out to
my
him.
hubby.
Yeah. Shout out.
Who's a Kappa. He said it. If I didn't get that in, there would be a price to pay later.
Absolutely.
But yes.
Absolutely.
He's amazing.
Absolutely.
He is, yes.
Shout out to him.
He is my man. He is a wonderful supporter,
Yes.
God-fearing man. Just, you've met him.
Absolutely.
And he speaks so highly of you too.
Oh, and I love
But what's not to love?
So let's do this.
Yes.
We are going to see Soul Purpose, and we'll go straight to break, and we'll be right back. Cam Hill Show.
Great.
I'm certain I can't relate to any of these women in the Bible.
Oh, God has just been so faithful. I didn't say I was looking for a perfect man. I just said I need a man that's going to meet a few of my qualifications.
Darnell,
Yes.
your son just said goodnight to you.
Oh, I heard him.
Change my heart so I can keep.
Hello? Is this Sandra?
Oh, yes, this is Dr. Green. How can I help you?
Not again, Lord. Not again. Why me, God? Why me?
Boy, don't walk up out of here.
Talk to God about it.
How did you know that?
Because like I said, I pay attention to
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages. The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact the Cam Hill Show at gmail.com.
I'm a part of the Prenatal Care Club now, taking all my STD tests.
Did you know your doctor's required by law to test you 3 times for syphilis and HIV?
Yes, my husband and I are making sure I get all 3 tests.
Good. Testing is the key to preventing congenital syphilis.
And good prenatal care is your first labor of love.
Glad to hear your husband is so involved.
Thank you. Yes, taking all my STD tests for syphilis is important to both of us. My prenatal promise is to prevent a stillbirth or miscarriage. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
This pandemic has impacted the lives of many people living with underlying health conditions, such as asthma and diabetes. That's why avoiding COVID-19 is a top priority, and a vaccine will help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Please keep masking up and practicing social distancing to protect those close to you. And be ready to take your best shot when a vaccine is available. Protect yourself to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Amazing things for you.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 monthlies with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. RonCarterCadillac.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, family, thanks for coming back. We're here with Miss Chericia Curtis. Hey. Soul Purpose. We just left and we were looking at Soul Purpose.
Yes.
Let's talk about Soul Purpose.
Okay, so again, Soul Purpose, about 5 extraordinary women, ordinary women doing extraordinary things, coming together as one. Yeah. I mean, if I gave you everything, I'm like, then you probably wouldn't come to the show. So I'm going to leave some up to the imagination. But yeah, like I was saying earlier about the soundtrack, I forgot to mention, Kyland, who I think is Mr. Houston.
He is.
He does this song called When You Hurt, I Bleed.
Ooh.
And that was also written by Solaria Skinner, and I think she wrote that in like 30 minutes. And then I'm like, this woman is absolutely incredible. But it is an amazing song about one of the characters who just loves his wife, just like Christ loves the church, and he just adores her. And then when she's going through her crisis, just the pain he feels, right? She's like, you don't understand. But he's like, no, because when you hurt, I bleed. That's how deeply he was feeling her pain. And it just kind of talks about the love, the relationship, sticking it out no matter what you're going through. So that's one of the characters. That's definitely one of the couples. But I encourage you to go get the soundtrack because it will motivate you. When you're having a bad day, it will motivate you. When you're having a good day, you're just going to go, woohoo, I want more. Right. So it's absolutely wonderful. So again, some of the characters, we have a preacher's wife in there.
Yes.
And you can imagine only what a preacher's wife goes through. That's played by Cecilia and Michael Prince and Tyrone. And what it is that she kind of wears this mask of being a preacher's wife and all the expectations of being a preacher's wife and what comes along with that. But then she also has her moment, her breakdown moment. And she's like, okay, God, you know what? I didn't ask to be a preacher's wife. My husband's in the ministry, not me. So she knows she has her moment. And then you have a single parent who is raising her child or her children on their own. And then you have another, the woman, Dr. Green, who is a counselor who you find out really needs a counselor.
Right.
Isn't that the way it works?
Right.
And then you also have another character who is searching for her Boaz.
Yeah.
So you remember
Right.
the young lady. So it kind of, to me, it caters to the millennials, the Gen X, the Gen Z, whatever it is, seasoned saints, seasoned all the others. Yes. And I mean, just everybody, the baby boomers alike. So I think that anybody, because the message.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what age you are,
right,
you have a purpose, whether
right.
you're, you know, a newborn or
That's
whatever, you know, God has put you here for a purpose. But going through the crisis and unveiling or revealing that purpose, that's really what it's all about. So all these women, incredible, wonderful talent too, by the way. So maybe we should, I'm trying to figure out how can we get Cam in this show? Yeah.
That's too funny. That's too funny. If we, as we give, it's over 40 million people unemployed, okay, through this process. Many of them still have dreams. And a lot of them have, again, stories. We all have a story. We all have a story.
Yes.
But then they've been working all these years, and in doing their work, they didn't have the time to do their dream. Now you have that time.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
You know what? Just don't give up. God didn't give you a dream for it not to come to fruition. Right. And there's something about chasing a dream that really is fulfilling, because that's that purpose. Just never give up, and knowing that, guess what? That even when they say, you know, overnight sensation, or no, it just happened because one night you weren't and the next night you were. Right. I mean, think about that. But guess what? Hard work, dedication, commitment, you know, prayer. I mean, that's really what it's going to take, period. But never, ever, ever, ever give up on your dreams.
Right.
No matter what. And just keep, like I said, burning the midnight oil. Whatever you have to do, take some time. If you want to write, take a couple of hours. If you think I've got a screenplay I think that could win an Oscar, you just keep writing. Just don't give up no matter what. When your kid's over there screaming, get them quiet, and then you just take some time, and then you start pursuing your dreams. But just keep your eye on the ball and never give up.
Absolutely. I know you always say about the word no. When people tell you no, what
do we really have to get into that? Yes, we do.
People have told people no and they don't like rejection, but we all have received it.
And it's a part of life.
There you go.
I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to get told no. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Many more times than you get told yes. And I think that it's the no where we get our strength. And that's where you're like, okay, that determination comes from the no. It's not from the yeses.
Right.
So yes, it's a part of the business. And even when you think about entertainment and that aspect of it, you're going to get told no many, many more times. I mean, I remember going to cattle calls and auditioning and things of that nature and thinking, oh yes, this is when I'm going to win my Academy Award. Oh, yes. And then all of a sudden they're like, nope, you didn't get that.
Right.
But you don't give up. You just keep on doing it. And you know what? And I would like to say this. You know, all the no's in the world, it's going to happen. But at the end of the day, only what you do for Christ will last. So those no's, they don't mean anything.
And many of them is not now.
And you know what? I love that it's not now. Because I remember telling my mom, who is deceased now, I remember telling her, you know what, Mom, I'm going to win this and I'm going to write this. And at the age of 28, 29 years old, then life happened. You're like, whoa, what just happened, right?
Right.
And then, of course, but that was God just saying what you just said. Not no, but not now.
Right.
But I got something for you. Just keep holding on.
Yeah. Bigger.
That's it. It's bigger. And guess what? Better. Because who's to say, had I gotten it then, you know what I'm saying, I would not be sitting up here having this conversation with you, Mr. Ken Hill. Absolutely. This is wonderful.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And looking at it, so many, like you said, when you were younger, you were doing the arts.
Yes.
You were in the arts very heavily in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, you go into technology.
Yes.
You're working.
Yes.
And then, just like many people say, oh, I'm going to leave my job. You know, a lot of people, they jump or they'll leave their job.
Yes. And you know, and I think it's a leap of faith, but everybody is different. Everybody's story is different, right? I have been blessed to where, as you know what, I've been able to keep my 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 or whatever.
Right.
God has blessed me with that. And then, of course, you know, just, hey, after 6 or 7 o'clock, you just resume, you know, chasing that passion. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are in a position to where they can take the leap, but if that's what's for you, I mean, go for it. And that's what God is telling you to do. There's going to be a net down there either way.
Right.
Something sustaining you and holding you.
That's it. And I think we don't think that. I think I'll say it like this. We then tell our dreams to friends and family that may not have that same thought process.
Yeah, that happens a lot. And I do think that if I listened to the people that told me you couldn't,
oh my God,
you can't, you won't, you aren't, guess
all of
what?
that.
Yeah, we wouldn't be having this conversation today because you're going to hear that.
Yeah.
And
close the people closest to you.
You know what? And let me tell you something, Brother Cam, sometimes it is the people closest to you. And oftentimes they don't even mean you any harm, but I'm just like, maybe because that's how they feel.
Right. Their fear.
Because of their fear, because they didn't go for their dream or their goal, because it didn't happen for them. And then, of course, they could be putting that off on you or pushing that off on you. But but their no is not your no.
Right.
Their dream is not your dream.
That's it.
Yes. So that is. Yeah, you're going to have some of the people that are closest to you that are going to sit there. But then you're going to have some people that are close to you, your ride or dies, are going to be sitting up there pushing it. And that's where that iron sharpens iron, and surrounding yourself with people that want you to be better and want you to do better. So that's what it takes.
I think the other thing is that we many times we keep people on the journey that may have to be left behind. Unfortunately,
it's like a train ride. I mean, all the stops sometimes.
Yeah,
the people that oftentimes the people that get on the train with you, it's full, and then after every stop, all of a sudden you're like, okay, 20 people leave, and then the next stop, and then before you know it, at that final stop, there may only be 3 or 4 people at that final destination. That's just the way it is. It is. Not all people are meant to be there for you the entirety of your journey.
Absolutely. And looking at just entertainment now, Black entertainment.
Yes.
As we look at it.
Yeah.
And we're coming out of COVID now. We were we were really on a wavelength of we've got to stop everything because of COVID. Things were happening. Now that it's opening up, now what do you see for Black entertainment as far as we're coming out of this and for America?
Ooh, you know what? I think that Black entertainment is not just Black entertainment. I think that Black entertainment is all entertainment.
Absolutely.
It's for everybody. I think it crosses over. And when you have incredible content like a story, it does not matter because it just so happens that the person is Black.
Right.
But that message is still the same and it resonates with absolutely everybody. And I have come across with so many incredible writers, M. Legend Brown. I mean, just people that are just continuing to keep their grind on. And when you hear their story, it's not just, for a Black audience, quote unquote, right?
Right.
It's for an audience of all colors. Right. Because guess what? It connects with me. I've been in that certain situation. I think that now is the time for, writers, directors, producers, executive producers, pouring your money into this community of, incredible content, Oscar award winners. I mean, all of it's out there. We just happen to be, writers that are Black.
Yes.
Producers that are Black. But the content, the message, yes, it resonates.
It's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
We wanted to say that and let everybody know that the content is for everyone.
It's for everybody, just like soul purpose. I didn't say that, a Black person has a soul purpose, a white person has a soul purpose. What does it say? It says that God created us. It says that every soul has a purpose.
Every soul.
Absolutely. And it applies to the content.
Absolutely. And we all are here for a reason, for that purpose.
Ooh.
We're all here. And we're all still here because many people have passed away because of COVID.
Oh my gosh. When you think about it, over 500,000 people that were here last year.
Yes.
I mean, almost a year to the date.
Right.
And now that have gone and succumbed. I mean, it's just, we are here for a reason and our time is now.
Yeah.
We've got to do it because none of us, even with purpose, is promised tomorrow.
That's true. As we look at it, as we look at life and we go through collaboration and unity, we've got to go back to that.
There's nothing like it. I mean, great things are achieved when we collaborate, when we unite, when we realize that, the power in the numbers can change the world. And you think about even what happened with the George Floyd, pardon me for being political, that situation when they were out there protesting, the power in the numbers and the galvanization that happened. And now look what's happening. Laws are being changed. People's mindsets are being changed and things of that nature. We can never, ever go back. But if that does not show you the power, when we all come together, I don't know what will.
Absolutely.
Because that right there was that's life changing.
It is.
That'll go down in the history books.
And we all saw it.
And everybody came together.
Yes, not a color. It wasn't a color.
No, it was a Crayola box, all colors. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And that's what coming together and numbers and uniting and being on the same page, that's what it gets you. When you do that, there's nothing we can't do. We're unstoppable.
Absolutely. And each one has their own gift.
Absolutely.
Each person has their own gift.
And I'm so glad that you said that. Roles and responsibilities, you always learn that in the business world, right? Everybody's role, but the goal.
Right.
Everybody has a goal, the end game, right?
Yes.
But everybody has a certain role to play to achieve that end game, that ultimate goal, kind of like purpose. Everybody's purpose is different, but everybody has one.
And that's what I love about you when you were talking about your nonprofit, how you cultivate the young minds. Because many people, many young minds and many people, period, like to be behind the scenes.
Yes, and that's where your gift is, that lane.
They'd like to be, the director,
absolutely.
the producer,
Makeup
whatever.
artist. Yes.
All of it.
Yes.
Wardrobe. All of it. Yes.
Wardrobe, the set design.
Yes.
I mean, somebody wants to be on the camera crew. I mean, that's what it's about. And I wanted to expose these children in underserved communities at a very young age.
Right.
And this is the thing about technology and how it transcends to, the arts, is that technology is not about the possible. Technology is about the impossible. When you think about cell phones and what it was 20, 30 years ago and where it is now. And that's the same thing about imagination. We want you to imagine. We want these kids to know that it is possible, that it's not impossible for you to write a screenplay, for you to win a Tony, for you, whatever it is that your dreams are, expose you to the arts, that you can come up with something, The Great Gatsby, you can come up with something so great that people will be reading and looking at it and listening to it for the next 100 years. It's in you. It's in you at a very young age. And we just want to make sure that that's exposed.
That's great. That's great. And you don't need to have money like people are saying.
No, not now. I mean, with social media,
yes.
I mean, think about how many people have become famous, right? And not spend a dime just on social media.
Right.
But I mean, the platforms that we have today, a lot of it can take place there. Just on social media, the Twitters, the Facebooks, and all of those.
Absolutely. I love that. And as you look at film,
yes,
you've done stage play. A lot of people have done the stage play, and they want to convert to film.
Oh, gosh.
I hear that all the time.
Let me
Screenwriters.
Let me tell you. So that is really what I'm in the process of doing right now.
Yeah.
And again,
and it's different.
Yes,
from
it's
a stage play.
It's
film.
It's total, and I had to kind of humble myself because I'm like, oh yeah, I got this, right? So I mean, when you make that transition, it is different, but the story's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you may have to format it differently and things of that nature, but just surround yourself with people that's what they do.
Right.
But it's definitely different. But the awesome thing about it, Cam, is that you can make that transition. You can do it. You can.
But the thought process from stage play,
gosh, yes, Lord.
to actually writing a actual film.
Whoa, yes. And I had to learn, like I said, not necessarily the hard way, but it took me a while to learn it, but I learned it.
You have to take some chapters out and some things out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then it's like the dialogue. So I mean, I like, this dialogue, hear ye, right?
They're like, get to the point.
They're like, just say here.
Get to the point.
Can you hear me now? Like, oh, darn it.
Right.
But yeah, so totally different. But like I said, just surround yourself with people that's what they do, and people are willing to help you to make that transition. But you have to be open-minded.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the ego, it goes out the door. But it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a lot of people, again, we were talking about, people have written books.
Yes.
And they are authors, and they feel like this book would be a great movie.
So you know what? I've never written a book per se.
Right.
So I really don't. The adaptation, right? I mean, or adaptation. When you think about that, I think it's just different.
It is.
But there are many books that have become movies, but if they decide to change a few things, don't be offended, because I can guarantee you they will.
They will.
But yes, there are many, many people that write books because, again, that story is definitely that message is definitely in that story.
Right.
And it can definitely transcend.
Absolutely. Let's do this. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with the Cam Hill Show.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages. The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact thecamhillshow@gmail.com.
I'm a part of the Prenatal Care Club now, taking all my STD tests.
Did you know your doctor's required by law to test you 3 times for syphilis and HIV?
Yes, my husband and I are making sure I get all 3 tests.
Good. Testing is the key to preventing congenital syphilis.
And good prenatal care is your first labor of love.
Glad to hear your husband is so involved.
Thank you. Yes, taking all my STD tests for syphilis is important to both of us. My prenatal promise is to prevent a stillbirth or miscarriage. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
This pandemic has impacted the lives of many people living with underlying health conditions, such as asthma and diabetes. That's why avoiding COVID-19 is a top priority, and a vaccine will help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Please keep masking up and practicing social distancing to protect those close to you. And be ready to take your best shot when a vaccine is available. Protect yourself to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Amazing things for you.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 month lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. RonCarterCadillac.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey family, we are back with Miss Chericia Curtis. Well, we were just talking a minute ago just about upcoming things that you have going on.
Yes. So we are going to be touring
the play,
the Soul Purpose stage play. We're going to be bringing it back to Houston. A lot of this activity is going to take place in 2022 just because of the restrictions, with venues and so forth and capacity. But we are bringing it back to Houston.
Yes.
And yes. And then we are going to be touring the East Coast and the Southeast. Wow. Yes, so we'll be going up to Philadelphia, New York area, and then, of course, on the Southeast. And hopefully, prayerfully, we'll be doing, a few more here in Texas, in addition to Houston. Yeah. But yes, and hopefully what we'll be doing is going from the Southeast, Northeast, and then going to the Central and West Coast it is.
There you go.
Yes.
2022.
Maybe the latter part of 2021, we were trying to bring it back in June, but they're still trying to go through the, the capacity, the limitations and having to deal with that. But most likely it does look like everything's going to be taking place latter 2021, but definitely 2022.
This COVID that has happened.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
But God.
Yeah. Many people are still left here. We all are. And we all, again, we were talking about our purpose and what we have. If you look back on your life, what have you learned along the way?
You know what? Definitely that God would never leave you or forsake you, and life kind of teaches you that. And I think about COVID and, people that didn't make it, people, the suffering that a lot of us went through, because we'd never been there. When you think about, depression and just the loneliness and the isolation. But I just always have to go back, to the scripture where it says where 2 or 3 are gathered, he is there also. Because there were many times where it was 2 or 3, your husband, your wife, your child, you're in the room, and you only had each other because you couldn't go out, and socialize with anybody.
Right.
But he was there, and this too shall pass. No matter, and I think that all kind of goes back to the purpose thing. Purpose is not perfect. Purpose is not single. Purpose is ongoing. And even during COVID, Brother Cam, he was with us.
Yeah,
we were serving a purpose even during that time. And now that the clouds are somewhat clearing, that purpose just continues. But no matter where you are in life, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're going through, he will never leave you or forsake you.
Right.
That's the God that we serve.
I'm glad you said that, because so many people, even now, you know, now that we're kind of lifting a little bit.
Yes.
It's kind of lifting a little bit. A lot of people, you try to come out. Vaccinations and things like that are happening.
I'm sorry, did I say that?
I'm vaccinated too, so I've gotten mine. But we're now coming out just a little bit. We're trailing out of the homes, and we're trying to get out just a little bit.
Right.
And we've been in quite a bit of time.
Yes.
You know, we've learned ourselves.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Look, we've met our families. Some people had traveled so much didn't even know who each other was.
Well, and think about that. And you know what? And even with being married, forgive me for being personal, but I mean, I learned or relearned some things about my husband, you know, that I had forgotten. You know, just that time together. So, you know, you take that as an opportunity where it is, you know, to learn, to grow from that process, to grow from that time together. But yeah, and sometimes, you know, hey. But, you know, again, I mean, just some things I learned to appreciate him that I had forgotten all about.
Wow.
And so that's how you have to take advantage of that time.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that we had that opportunity through that.
Yes.
That time.
Yes.
And we had time to rest. We didn't even realize it.
Reset, recalibration, I mean, refresh. I mean, I think that even with that, creativity, you know, just kind of going back to that, you know, that's a time that you can write about, capture those moments, you know, go write about what did I learn from, you know, COVID, you know, how did I grow from COVID? How did I find my purpose or more of it, you know, during COVID? So, I mean, those are some of the positive things that we need to get or garner or glean from that situation.
Absolutely. And looking at going into film and stage, because film is getting, I mean, it's booming. Film,
it's content. They want it. I mean, and think about all the streaming
Everybody
platforms.
is exactly
Everybody.
at
Look
home.
how much time we spend at time watching television.
Right,
and
we're
streaming.
home.
I mean, I saw movies I didn't even know existed. I'm like, are you serious right now? Just going through the channels. But I mean, they understood that, guess what? People were content. And that's what I'm saying. And the world can never have enough content. Never. Because there's always that story.
Yes.
You know, there's that new story that's going to be out there that needs to be told. That was cute, that needs to be told. Okay.
But you're right on content.
Yes.
More and more of it
They
is
want
needed.
it. Oh, I mean, when you think about all the new media platforms that came as a result of COVID, that they were created, and all of them are out there talking about, you know, the content. And it would be so cool, I think, if we could come up with a repository of all this content, and especially when you're talking about the Black community, right? With so much of it out there, we need to come together.
And history, our history.
So much lost. So much lost that needs to be told. Right. Absolutely. But all that collaboration and coming together, we can make that happen.
Absolutely.
We have to make it happen.
We have to make it happen. Each of us has a cell phone.
Absolutely. Yes. Everybody. No matter who you are. Dog got a cell phone. Everybody got a cell phone. More cell phones than people? I don't know how that happens.
Exactly.
But anyway, but yes.
Exactly. So, and each person is able to see this content.
Yes.
Wherever
globally,
you are. Yes, globally.
Globally, when you think about that. And the markets just aren't here. I mean, there are new markets that are opening up in the APAC region, you know, Europe, you know, Africa. Content is available everywhere.
Yes.
And even people in India want to know about our story.
They do.
Because again, those stories merge. I mean, we understand, we can connect. It's all connection.
Yeah.
We are all connected together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This thing called life.
It is.
And content does what? It connects us.
It does. It connects us all the way.
Yes. You're awesome. I just had to say that. I just want to throw that in there.
And based on what we're looking at now, and I loved what you said before, we have a lot of actors and actresses and people behind the scenes that now that it's opening up, now that they're able to, you know, go out a little bit more, now they're able to work maybe at this time.
Yes.
Now they're able to see it a little differently.
Yes. And you know what? And more content creates more opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a great time for actors to get out there and audition, to be out there creating, because there are going to be so many platforms that are going to, need actors. I mean, the A-listers, and I mean, we know who the A-listers are, but I mean, there's just as much talent, B, C, and whatever. They just haven't got discovered yet.
Right.
So that's my whole thing. Just go out there, audition, look for it. Don't give up.
Absolutely.
Because it's available. Opportunity is there.
I'm glad you said that. And also, we always are looking for a fee-based when we are out there as actors. We want that fee base. And many times, you might have to do walk-ons. Yeah. Pay your dues, walk on, be an extra.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. There are many great actors that started off,
as extras.
And not saying a word, but with all the opportunities out there, with all the content, your time will come. Like I said, what's for you is for you. Nobody can take it away. I mean, you go in there and you pay, you pay the hard dues, you do the hard work and things of that nature. You put the hard work in, I guarantee you it's going to happen for you. It will happen. Silence to, speaking and being in front of the stage and potentially, holding up an Oscar in your hand.
Absolutely.
It can happen for anybody.
Absolutely. What preparation is needed for an actor? Do you think, or someone that's in as a producer or whatever? EPKs, what do people need to put together? Many times we're not prepared with our paperwork or with our pictures or something like that. We're not prepared.
So you know what? I mean, that's really interesting. Of course, you have to have, your resume. You put your resume together. You can put together sizzles, of course, the EPK. I mean, there's so many things that you can do right now. And I do
we're
think
at home.
Because we're at home and you really have time to do it. You've got this thing called, your smartphone, in which you can do some filming. You can, show the roles that you've been in. I always, and I'm kind of old school. I think, just going out there, iron sharpens iron, getting with, someone, an instructor or a coach or somebody like that, so that you can just, continue to make sure that you're sharpened at all times, because you never know when you're going to be called. I mean, there's so many different ways.
Yourself.
And let me tell you something, invest, because you are worth it.
Yeah.
You are worth it. Your gift is worth it. And once you have that opportunity, you want to make sure that you'll be able to, knock that door down, and everybody's going like this: where have you been? Where have you been all my life? Right? So yes, just continue to keep that grind going. But like I said, sizzle reels, resumes, bringing all the works that you have done together, getting somebody to put that together, and it's probably not even that expensive to come up with something like that. But just make sure it's doing, because really the thing is this: is that preparation meets opportunity.
That's
it.
And
that's when doors open for you.
That's it. And this is the time. The time is now.
This is the time. And you know what? We're still under COVID. Go in there and do it. And you know what? Don't put off today, right? Don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. I mean, just go in there and just do it. Make it happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a lot of things that people. Anything else upcoming for you?
You know what? I do have some projects.
I know you can't talk about it.
I can't talk about it, but I'd love to come back and, when the time is right.
Right.
But yes, some amazing things, like you were saying, screen plays, which I'm really excited about, some stuff for the screen that we're currently, pitching, and some networks are looking at it. Praise the Lord. Some other things regarding technology that I'll be able to talk about in a couple of months. Yes, but that's it.
Well,
so just keep working, keep working.
I appreciate you for coming on,
and
lady.
I appreciate you for having.
This is fun.
And I love you.
I love you too.
I love you.
Thank you. Let's talk to so you look in the camera, talk to the viewers, and what are some last words you'd like to leave with the viewers?
I would like to leave with the viewers just to never give up on your dreams. Keep going. Your soul has a purpose. If you ever want to reach out, you have some questions, needing some more information, you can go to www.brokenvest.com, and we will make sure to reach out to you. Always available. But yeah, keep it going. Never give up. And remember, your soul too has a purpose.
Love it, lady. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you guys for being with us on the Cam Hill Show, 12:30 to 1:30 Central Standard Time. See you then. Bye.